KSHP 41 Let's Talk event in Grain Valley, a viewer came up to me and said, Tarsney Lake in Jackson County has a lily pad problem. I said, what kind of lily pad problem? Now I know what kind of lily pad problem. Look at sections of this lake basically overrun with lily pads. The people who live out here have asked for years for Jackson County to provide some resolution to this issue, but have had trouble getting solid answers.
When I was a kid, I used to swim at that lake all day long.
Today, Deborah Korn is the president of Tarsney Lake Citizens, Inc. But she tells me she's afraid of what the future holds. What's your fear if it doesn't get done? What's your...
Well, eventually the lake will silt in. It'll become like a Tarsney Lake's mud puddle.
Portions of this public lake are still basically accessible, but lily pads have taken over one large section and started to spread all along the banks of the rest of the lake. Deborah says she's been asking the county to do something about it for years.
But there are people that have causes up in the city, and I feel like maybe they get hurt a little bit more than being in unincorporated Jackson County out here where it's easy to ignore us.
At one point, this lake, like many others, was covered under a partnership with the Missouri Department of Conservation. When that was in place, the state would handle maintenance. But Tarsney isn't covered by the partnership anymore. I reached out to the Department of Conservation, who told me, quote, overabundance of aquatic plants can throw the aquatic ecosystem off balance. And for lakes we manage, aquatic herbicide application is our method. That's exactly what the people here want to try.
And the residents have asked for fairly small things.
Sean Smith is the county legislator that represents Tarsney Lakes. He tells me that this year's county budget included about $5,000 to pay for chemicals to kill the lily pads, which lake residents have volunteered to apply themselves. And it included, he says, more than $100,000 to repair one of just 2 roads into and out of this neighborhood. Right now, it's closed.
I can't even get an honest answer about what the status and time frame of those being taken care of is.
Smith blames embattled County Executive Frank White Jr. for not directing the Public Works Department to spend the money that's already been approved. Why do you think it's appropriate to lay what's happening at this lake at his feet? Why is it his fault?
Frank and his mid-level managers decide what work needs to be done, and they don't prioritize things like this that have real-world impact on people.
Smith also shared with me a memo from White, dated July 30th, instructing county legislators to funnel all of their requests to speak to or meet with staff or department heads through the county's chief administrative coordinator.
I sent her an inquiry yesterday. I said, I need data about this situation. And she basically said she'll ask the department directors if they have a willingness to provide that.
I reached out repeatedly to Jackson County for comment, but never received an official response to my questions or to Sean Smith's accusations. Until the county does provide some answers, Deborah and her fellow residents are left to watch a lake they love slowly disappear.
We're not Lotawana, we're not Lakewood, we're not Tapawingo, we're Tarsney Lakes. They really didn't want us, they inherited us, but we feel like they really haven't taken the time to see this lake put back to its natural beauty.
And as we have reported, as you know, Frank White facing a recall election in Jackson County coming up at the end of next month. I asked Sean Smith about the timeline potentially for work to be done at Tarsney Lake, and he referenced that election saying, hopefully, again, he said, pretty quickly after September 30th, he thinks that work will be done on that lake there in Jackson County, just not far from where I'm standing here at Grain Valley High. Ray, back to you.
All right, Taylor, thank you so much.